Hey Taurus, welcome to your mid-May check-in. This is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You may get a little, you may get a lot. Be sure to check your sun, moon, rising, and midheaven. So, for the sake of time, I went ahead and pulled some cards, so here we go. We have originality, we have companionship in the reverse, and we have power in the reverse. All right, and then I pulled some tarot as well. We have the 7 of Wands in the reverse, the Sun reverse, and 10 of Swords reverse, okay? So I feel like this is a period of reassessment. I feel like this is a period of revision. Makes sense because we're going to have Mercury retrograde toward the end of the month. But one of the main things is the courage to be original, because we have that 7 of Wands and that originality. And so it's like, being kind of like, are you in a space where you're trying to figure things out with others or for others? Or are you in a space where you're figuring things out for yourself, right? Because with the Sun card and the companionship card in the reverse, there's something about like feeling out of sync, but trying to remain sync anyways with some type of like status quo, right? Also, it's like, maybe there are certain partnerships or a space in which you're working or dealing alongside others that has you, it's like you lack confidence. You lack confidence in some of these spaces. Maybe instead of companionship, there's competition, right? And maybe instead of companionship, there's a bit of separation or separation anxiety, right? Perhaps fear of creating some type of rift in a space by breaking away and doing something original. Maybe that's what's got you kind of reserved in some form or fashion from really taking aim toward whatever it is that you were initially focused on, right? So 10 of Swords and power, it's like, but you feel like you may be going on an ego trip, right? And so it's like the resistance toward going off on an ego trip or being seen as if you are, right? But there's something to be said about authenticity. And sometimes from the outside looking in, it can look like an ego trip to another person because maybe we're just exemplifying some of the aspects of their shadow that haven't been fully integrated, right? And so it's always really difficult to discern and navigate our experience when we're putting it up to comparison of what others might expect or how they might respond. That is not necessarily our responsibility as long as we are acting within the golden rule, right? Or like we're acting with integrity or with like heartfelt intentions in order to produce or share something with a community of people, in order to help move the collective forward in some way, shape, or form. Like, what is our contribution is the word I was trying to come up with here. So we have the 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. We also have domination here in reverse. And so again, power struggles. It could also have something to do about feeling a little bit of out of sorts within the home or places that you usually find comfortable or familiar. So it's like there's some type of inner discomfort that is causing a lot of these experiences to come up, and the need for your original self to finally break through, and for you to recognize that being in your power is not necessarily taking you on a power trip, right? So let's see. What else have we got here? We have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. We have the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. And we have the 4 of Wands showing up again, but in the reverse. So Ace of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. All right. So I feel like where you want to move to and like maybe unfamiliar territory is perhaps one of the conflicts here, or the things you're trying to figure out. I feel like there's part of you that has to move a little bit backwards in order to pick up a few pieces, in order to either you're going back in order to avoid whatever disharmony you're feeling. So maybe you're working on something again because it's made you so uncomfortable. You're trying to do things within the realm of it being understood and accepted, right? But ultimately it's pushing you farther away from the finish line, farther away from the threshold that is you feeling stable in your internal motivations, right? We have the Devil card here at the bottom of the deck, which is just indicating there's some obsession about what's bad versus, you know, what is bad for you. All right, we have the Four of Cups in the reverse, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles, with the Judgment card here at the bottom of the deck. So there's a resistance toward really going full force in whatever it is that calls to you or speaks to you, because I feel like you're afraid of what the universe is going to serve up, or maybe there's some fear of like, you know, I'm comfortable right now, things are good, I don't want to put any of this on the line and risk all that I've built up. So in a way, it's almost like a sunk cost fallacy, but at the same time, it's really not, because there's nothing that you necessarily have to lose, if that makes sense. I feel like this is more along the lines of reputation, but it could be you feeling that along with that, all of your daily comforts and things that you typically enjoy, I feel like you almost feel like you'd have to be uprooted and maybe move someplace else, or have to save face and live a different lifestyle for a little while. It's very interesting. It's like, are you a spy? It's almost just like, are you trying to like live life like incognito, or do you want to be recognized here, Taurus? It's just one of the things that really comes to mind that I should be asking you at this time. So yeah, let's see if there's anything else that I'd like to share with you right now. I feel like for a lot of you, it's like your home life is very important to you. There are things within your upbringing that's caused you to shy away from any type of power struggles, or maybe from actually shining your light, because perhaps you were up against dealing with and maybe competing with a lot of different egos in the past. Now, let me see what else we've got here. And so it's like you've kind of had to feel your way out in the dark in order to make things happen. And it's like there's part of you that's kind of grateful and maybe leans into your personal history a little bit too much, which can cause it to be difficult to want to break away from that or be recognized through that lens. And I feel like as soon as you stop like resisting by pretending that you're satisfied, things are going to change very, very quickly. And maybe that's part of what you fear, is that you won't be able to keep up with it. Especially Taurus, like, you know, earth energy, we're a little deliberate, you know. I mean, I have 6 placements in Capricorn, so I have a lot of earth energy. And so we're not as prone to make quick decisions, you know, because for fear of like it would wreck the structural integrity, you know, the general framework of what it is that we're trying to accomplish, right? But I feel like there's a new way to do that. There's a different way for you to move quickly, but it involves you being more independent, and being a little bit more detached from how it is that you used to operate, as well as like who you're trying to claim to be. I feel like you've got to offer yourself a little bit more freedom in terms of who you describe yourself to be, or what you're here to accomplish. If you could just tweak those things a little bit, I feel like you'd find a path forward. I don't know why I'm getting like saltwater taffy is coming up to mind. But it's like there's a certain sweetness to things that can allow us to relinquish a certain amount of control. And maybe that is what we're kind of like needing to lean into here, is like, what is the sweetness or nectar that exists in your life and within you right now that is so good that you don't need to control it. It just exists. It's just this beautiful treat that has its own sort of texture and experience and feel and flavor to it, that you can just let it unfold, right? I feel like that's what I'm getting with this taffy thing here, which is very interesting. I'm also getting a lot of stuff of having to say goodbye perhaps to someone younger or to your younger self, but something like that about some type of separation between this like youthful energy, which maybe it's a state of maturity that you're entering here, because, you know, when we're young, we're impressionable and we want to be one of the cool kids, right? And so like, but the cool kid's usually the one that's not following anyone, right? They're making their own way, they're paving their own path. And so I feel like it's like, in a way, you're like maturing and graduating from whatever that lesson is and choosing your own broader career path or purpose here, Taurus. So let me pull a couple more cards just to kind of see where we end up at. So we have the Eight of Wands. What did I tell you? I talked about the Eight of Wands. We have the Ten of Cups. Oh, what? And we have the Death card. So Eight of Wands, Ten of Cups, Death card. So yeah, like I said, once you get to that point, like things will happen quickly and you'll find that everything is okay. All your wishes are coming true. And in fact, you're like spreading joy to other people, like you're inspiring others in some way. And so it's like surrendering to the process and allowing yourself to choose something new, let everything else fall to the wayside. You're gonna have these healing moments that are gonna feel a little bit reckless, that are gonna feel a little bit wobbly and deep and like rupture certain parts of you that just need space so they can be filled and fulfilled in a way that's much greater than what you've experienced up until this point. So there's something a lot about just having faith in that, having faith in the potential of things and not trying to control or form it or shape it into something. It's just letting something take its natural course. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. I really enjoyed this reading, and be sure to like, subscribe, comment. If you'd like to book a session with me, the link is down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in June, all right? Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye for now.